Be sure to check out my Veve and Omi investors group in the description down below. Together we build generational wealth and go over everything you need to be profitable in the Veve markets. Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another Veve and Ecomi video. In this one, we are going to be covering some interesting stuff here. So it seems like the community it's in an uproar. When you see something negative happens, then people just all start bringing up, oh, I noticed this negative. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. Then it's just like a wave. Instead of the community being supportive and actually not funding their own investments, everybody just jumps on the bandwagon and everyone tries to bring your own investments down even more, as if that's logical. The fact of the matter is the fundamentals of this project have not changed, and I'm not understanding why so many people choose to do so little due diligence into their project and actually understand what it is that you're investing into. Like, so many people yesterday told me that this app was not about kids. It was not for kids. When if you clearly go to my YouTube channel, let me see. If you clearly go to my YouTube channel, this, like, let me show you. This one right here. This video right here, Alfred Khan literally explained how you'll be able to go to the movie theaters, get movie tickets and stuff like that. Scan this. You can scan movie tickets and you'll be able to get NFTs on Veve with videos of the trailer for the movie that you just went to see. Like, that's a feature that's coming, and it's going to be help cater toward kids and children and stuff like that. Also, with the Amazon and Walmart and stuff like that, they're going to be putting Veve toys in there, and that's how kids will be able to get their hands on some NFTs, probably get their hands on some collectibles or toys, whatever you're going to call them for kids. But you'll be able to buy stuff through Amazon and Walmart, and then the kids will be able to use them on the app in some capacity, more than likely. And then also, when he was talking about the full plan and rollout for Disney, he was also focusing on the children aspect. Alfred Khan has dedicated his entire career damn near to children. Like, his entire career has been dedicated to children. So for people to not understand that this project is going to be so heavily impacted by children, it's crazy. It's crazy because you would think that this is fundamental knowledge that makes people invest. I invested in this project purely because the crypto side of things cannot have that huge of an impact when we get to the primary goal of this. They have openly said that we're only at the gift shop stage. If Veve was Disney World, we only have the little gift shop at the side of the whole theme park. We have a little gift shop, and that is what Veve is right now. And people are trying to make decisions about the whole theme park based off of the gift shop. And that logic just does not make sense to me. So many people who ask certain things, like, it just doesn't make sense why people would take 10% and want to base an entire project off of a 10% that we have right now. People are like, oh, but the marketplace is so important. The marketplace is not that important. The marketplace, the drops and stuff like that, like, this stuff is going to go up in value. Obviously, it's important to be able to sell your assets. Like, that is important to an extent. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of these assets, you'll be able to rent your assets and get residual income off of this stuff throughout the Veveverse. Like, kids, like, people don't realize that kids own the majority of digital assets in existence today. Skins on Fortnite. Well, it's not true ownership because NFTs have just now started to exist, but literally kids are the ones buying up everything. It doesn't matter if it's their parents. It doesn't matter who's buying it. The kids easily make an account, and then when they have this account, they ask their parents, hey, can you put some money on my account so I can get this, so I can get that? But the kids are the ones finding the stuff that they want their parents to buy. Well, like, putting Veve in a situation, or putting Veve in a situation where the parents has to find it and tell it to the kids. When your parent is telling you something, that shit's not cool. That's not something that you want parts in. You don't want anything to do with your parents when you're a kid most of the time. You want to be cool. You want to do what the cool people are doing. You want to feel like you sneaking, doing something. You got something that's your own. That's how kids are. So to say, oh, the only way you're going to be able to access Veve is through your parents, it's like it's people who really genuinely believe that that's not a barrier to entry. It's like, what? Like what world are you living in? And I think that, I don't know, because I'm not even a parent and I know better about that than when it comes down to parenting. But honestly, that's not even the one of the biggest topics here. We have some genuine concerns from some people. Mikey R, he's always kind of bearish on the channel, but he left an interesting comment that I completely disagreed with. He said, Veve is generally behind the curve perpetually. I have faith in the IP, but not the team. And that is where you fail as an investor. Because the IP has faith in the team. The IP has faith in the team, which is why the team has the IP, yet you don't have faith in the team. So why would you invest in an IP? Because it's going to be other platforms with the IP. Palm has DC. Now, what's this? HRO has DC. There are going to be other platforms with the IP. So, I mean, if you're invested in this project for IP, you're making a terrible investment. I mean, not financial advice, but you're making a terrible investment if you don't understand why you're invested in this, or you're not invested for the right reasons. The team is the only reason I'm invested in this. I wouldn't care if another company has all this. Recur has IP. I'm not invested in that. Like that says it all. Like the VV community just jumped back and forth to IP. I invested in the team because the team is who I trust and believe in. Like, it's really that simple. While everybody else sees these things in such a negative way, I see it from a perspective where I understand development. I understand business. I understand licensing. I understand every single thing that VV is struggling with and VV is against right now. But everybody else don't want to understand that. All you want to see is your collectibles and your valuables going up in value in year 2. Because you got spoiled in year 1 with VV's massive success, you want to see this replicated. You want that back. Like, I get it. You want that. Like, you think that the influencers are here happy seeing our collectibles like not valuable? No, we would love for our collectibles to moon, but we also would love to accumulate more collectibles. So when they do moon, they moon even bigger. Like, it's different mindsets of investing. So yeah, he said none of the several other projects I own have this amount of incompetence. They have issues like allowing the vesting of too many tokens, low liquidity, or a security hack, but generally they have periods demonstrating they know what they are doing and they can address the unplanned more competently. And he's talking about they like these other projects are handling things better than VV. And that just shows you who understands the level and scale of what VV is actually doing, the magnitude of what they're doing. There is no company out here doing what they're doing, handling these problems while being in the same situation as VV. You look at these companies that started with more funding like VV literally has, like, a lot of these companies start with more funding than VV, and VV is handling problems these other companies couldn't even handle like that. Like, even when it comes down to the MTL, people are saying, oh, Recur has the MTL. Yeah, for the United States. Like, VV has to get the MTL for over 200 different countries. They have to apply, like, they have to qualify for regulations or follow regulations for 200 different countries. Like, it's like, what are we talking about right now? Like what are we talking? Like, how is the comparison even being made? You have one company who gets the MTL for the United States, and then everybody gets to footing their own investments. It really makes no sense to me. So he says VV chose this direction and should have tested their security for exploits like this. Tested their security for exploits like this. So basically, the big exploit that happened is something that VV should have tested for. When actually, what happened was this actually got past Apple. This got past Apple and Google. Like, people don't, and we don't actually know the inner workings and details of this. All we know is somebody committed credit card fraud. That's what's been exposed. Somebody committed credit card fraud. People are saying that there's this exploit where you pay for gems, but you're not actually paying for gems. Where's the proof of that? Because if the money was not going into VV's bank account, that's something that they would notice, because it would be impacting their bottom line and stopping them from being able to be able to pay bills. Because regardless of if you're getting that money or not, Apple is still taking their fees. The licensors are still taking their fees. So if they're actually not getting paid, it's something that they would notice, because VV's bank account is not as big as people assume that it is, because they're selling out. 30% off top that they never see. 30% they never see. There's going to be taxes when it comes down to this. They're going to have to pay taxes. So that's more than likely going away. They have a buyback fund. That's going away. They're paying their team. That's going away. They're paying the licensors. That's going away. Like, people are not really understanding or thinking big picture about this stuff, man. So people running with the narrative that, there's an exploit where people don't actually have to pay. No, I've seen a lot of screenshots where people said, oh, here's an exploit, I didn't really have to pay, and then I see another screenshot of them posting a negative account balance. It looks like you did have to pay. So I mean, yeah, this is just the reality of the situation, man. He said the list grows. They didn't plan for capacity. To say that VV didn't plan for capacity, what company comes out with the arrogance to believe that they're going to get millions of people when they're planning for 60,000? Like, who could have ever imagined that VV would blow up to the point where it has blown up today? Like, nobody could have imagined something like that. Nobody would have thought that was going to happen. So for a company to be realistic and plan for 60,000 and then you sitting here critiquing them for it, like, come on now. That's like you starting your own business, planning for like 10,000 people, and then 100,000 people show up. Like, how do you strike a company for being too damn good? Like, what? Like, how? Locking the wrong accounts. When you're developing something, it is no such thing as locking the wrong accounts. You create a list of criteria. If some of these criteria get hit, you automatically lock whatever account hits it. It does not matter if David Yu's account himself did something that literally checked one of those boxes, his account would be locked. Obviously, it's David Yu, so he would just hit up somebody on the team and tell him, yo, handle this. What is going on? Like, the fact of the matter is, no one is exempt from this. And all these OGs out here crying, like, oh, I've done this much. I've been supported. You can check my account history. I've never done wrong. It does not fucking matter. David Yu himself would be in the same situation because development is not your friend. Like, development, you're telling a computer what to look for. Does not matter who would look for it with. Like, whoever meets this criteria is going to get caught. And then it's going to take time for human reviews to investigate the situation. It's just that simple. No one is exempt from this. Nobody is above this. Nobody is above this. Like, people always talk about how the influencers and the YouTubers do this, the influencers and YouTubers do that, and how they don't, this will never happen to them. Well, apparently we know a little bit more than you do, because we don't get no insider help, like, we don't get none of that. We don't get insider information. We don't get none of that. Like, people just sit around, make conspiracies up all day. And this is why I don't take a lot of the community serious, because I know this, being behind the scenes, knowing that realistically, there's people on the team who don't even fucking like me, yet I'm the one getting all these benefits and stuff like that. I am not even liked by everybody at Ecomi. I really am not. Like, do you actually think somebody as non-filtered as me would be one of the biggest voices in the community if it was up to them? Especially, like, I'm outspoken, positive, but I am usually the most outspoken against the negative too. Remember when the hack happened and people lost over $20,000, $40,000, something like that? I was the first one making that a big deal as well. But people took it, and at that time, people took the blame less off of Veve. When I was criticizing Veve, people took the blame less off of Veve and focused on my title, by the way. But when I was talking about how incompetence was, come on now, how many times does this happen on Discord, and how many people are you going to cost money? And now that everybody's hit by this, people care now, right? Like, this is how hypocritical the community is. Now people care because it's not just Discord people getting hit this time. It's everybody in the Veve community is going to take a hit because of what just happened. And now people want to speak up and talk about some of the issues. Come on now, stop being hypocrites. When I talk about something like this months ago, stand behind me, because you know that I'm bullish. I'm not, like, literally, I never just sit around and foot my own project. So if I'm having a problem with something, it's probably a real fucking problem. But nah, we gonna stay quiet until it hits us. Have some foresight. Something does not have to hit me for me to realize this could hit me in the future. Like, it should not, like, something should not have to impact you before everyone wants to stand up, band together. Oh, Veve needs to change this. Veve should have done that. Like, really? Come on now. But yeah, man, locking the wrong accounts, it's an algorithm. It's going to happen. No KYC to prevent this type of thing. No KYC, literally, it's not going to prevent this type of thing. Like, it's really not. There are ways around KYC. There's entire businesses built with KYC bots and things like that. All this does is create another business, create another opportunity. People steal identities and stuff like that all the time. So while, yeah, it would be easier to track, there is no way of getting rid of a lot of this stuff. There's just no way. Like, people think that KYC is the answer to everything. It's really not. All it does is create a barrier to entry and takes a platform that could have hundreds of millions of people, and it really reduces that drastically. It reduces that drastically. It reduces the ability for this project to go viral, because now parents have to find this before their children, as opposed to children are the ones who are finding and making the things in the world go viral. And when things in the world go viral, then the parents see it. Then the parents have money, and then they want to invest. This could literally be the NFT superhero TikTok. Like, Veve could become that. Veve could add in those video features with this augmented reality, and kids can start making dances and stuff like that on the Veve app. That is an aspect that completely makes sense for Veve. But nah, people, oh, all I care about is the marketplace. All I care about is getting my money. Stop being so short-sighted because you want to get paid right now. Bro, stop being so damn broke. This is why you're broke now. You're trying to get everything overnight. Guess what? You're never getting rich overnight. You're never getting rich overnight. Accept that shit and learn how to work hard for your money, learn how to be tactical, and learn how to be patient, because that's where the real wealth is built. Like, a lot of people don't realize how easy it is to build wealth. You watch Warren Buffett just literally sit here and hold the same stock for decades, and people are like, nah, that's too slow for me. Like, look at how old he is. He got all that money, but look how long it took him. Like, bro, like, you done wasted how much of your life? Like, how old are you? And you just now trying to build up with Veve. Like, come on now. Like, I wasted times. All of us have wasted time, bro. Like, we could have started investing when we was younger too. We weren't interested in that shit. Like, come on now. At a certain point, you just got to be real. You got to take some accountability and responsibility for certain things. No desktop app to eliminate and reduce Apple and Google fees. Yeah, as if the team is that big. This is a startup company, and you're expecting desktop apps to eliminate and reduce Apple and Google fees, as if they don't know that they have to pay these fees. And obviously, they're working on a desktop version. They're working on the desktop version. They're working on the Veve version. They're working on the crypto side. They're working on the NFTs. They're working on the licensing. Like, and then all this legal red tape that they're working like as well. They're working through. So people literally are not realizing all the stuff that Veve has to do to make this a reality. It is like, it amazes me that people call themselves investors and you don't know this basic stuff, or you don't care about this basic stuff or consider this basic stuff. MTL perpetually promised. I mean, a little bit of research will tell you that it takes 2 years. Maybe they spoke out of turn, they spoke too soon, but a little bit of research will tell you that it generally takes about 2 years for the MTL. And then, like I said, they're trying to get MTL in 200 plus countries. If it was just the United States, that probably would be a hell of a lot quicker, but then you would also have so much FUD that, oh, could they get the cash out and we don't? We're trapped here. Like, that would cause a shitstorm. They have to release MTL for everybody at once. Like, it's just that simple. So you're talking about MTL being promised. MTL was not even really in the plans, and yet they put it in there for people, and now they're not moving fast enough. Timelines will not always be met. Get used to it, bro. No idea on interoperability. I mean, that's at the discretion of the licensors. That's really at the discretion of the licensors. And because these other projects you're talking about don't have licenses that actually matter, you know, they don't have. And then when Veve made these deals with these other companies, the NFT space was not what it is today when Veve made these deals. The NFT space then, like, they were convincing people on a dream that no one had ever actually seen come true. Now it's so much stuff going on. Of course, more brands are open. Like, you see DC with interoperable NFTs and stuff already now. That's because now they're more open to it because they have seen what the space will do. They're seeing how it'll be adopted, and they're starting to understand the technology more. People are becoming more educated. You mad at Veve because Veve are so good at what they do that they get in early before, like, the full vision could even be seen by anyone but this team. Like, they sold companies on the slightest vision and different aspects of the vision. So Veve being too good is what you're criticizing them for. These other companies coming out with interoperability and things like that, that's not a threat to Veve. Veve's deal is for much more. Like, it's much bigger than just the asset itself. It's about the experience around the asset. That is what Veve is selling people on. The experience, the Veveverse, the metaverse, what you're going to be able to do with these, having augmented reality. It's what you can do with these assets, not just the fact that we have these assets. That's where the difference in something like OpenSea and these other projects is. We haven't even seen the primary objective of Veve, and people are sitting here criticizing it. It makes no sense. But people don't even know that the market, this is not just another marketplace, but people are treating it like that because everyone in here is from the crypto space or the NFT space and short-sighted. It amazes me. It amazes me. Buyback confusion because regulations have changed. Like my man said, buyback confusion, that's literally happened because regulations in the world has changed. Like, that's something that Veve is supposed to predict, that governments was actually going to change regulations and make it a lot more difficult for exchanges to list. Like, the stuff people are blaming Veve for is absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And the slightest bit of brain power would let you know how a lot of this stuff isn't even on Veve. Bots blatantly stealing and profiting from it. Problem after problem. So bots blatantly stealing and profiting from it. I believe in the people that have the data, not the people who want to spin a narrative that's most beneficial to them. It's just that simple for me. I believe in the people because what you have to realize is they are real collectors. They're real collectors. They're already rich. So while everybody poor running around here crying because, oh, they're just doing this, they're doing what's best for them and stuff like that. What's best for them? Al Khan had to come out of retirement to scam your ass. Like it's the best thing to do right now is for Al Khan to come out of retirement. For what? Like, why do he need more billions? Like, what do Al Khan need more billions for? Like, why would Al Khan come out to tarnish his legacy like this? Like, come on now. Like, people coming up with the most stupid things, and this is why you're in a position where you're poor now. Like, this is why you're like, and it's the poor people. You look at all the whales and stuff like that. They're cool. They're chilling. They're telling people that it's fine. But it's the poor people. Like, when will you lose the poor mindset? I understand nobody has ever taught you like this before, but I've been in the same mindset. You have to shift your mindset or you're not going to be able to shift your life. It's that simple. You can be here crying. You can be here blaming everybody. You can be here playing victim. But if you want to change your life, you have to start thinking about the people who have, thinking like the people who have changed their lives. You have to start being able to understand what's going on. If you see all these other people in the know, not panicking or anything like that, ask questions about what it is that you're missing. Don't sit here and start criticizing VV and bashing and stuff like that. There's the one thing to have criticisms. So it's one thing that if you've done your due diligence, you've done your research, and there's still answers and stuff that you don't know, like you talk to influencers and stuff who I like literally 99% of stuff people come to me about, I always know the answer to. So if you come to me and it's something that I don't have an answer to, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know nothing about that. It's perfectly fine to criticize Veve about that. But you criticizing Veve about buybacks and stuff like that, the regulations have changed. You criticize them about not being on exchanges as if laws and regulations this is not, things are changing. There is a shift happening in the world right now. Either you're going to accept that or you're going to have to cry about it and move on elsewhere. Like, why complain in the VV community every single day? It's not getting you nowhere. Like the very first month you started complaining, it didn't help. Like, now that you're on month 9 complaining or month 3, whatever, whenever you join, like now that you're on month 3 complaining, it's not helping still. So, and while you're complaining, you have people like me who are constantly running up a bag on VV. Constantly. And I don't need bots. I don't have to care if bots exist. I sit here and blatantly tell. But the thing is, people believe, oh, because you're a YouTuber, because you can turn on the fucking camera and talk, you got to have some type of advantage. Yeah, I have an advantage. I'm fucking smarter than a lot of people. I know that complaining is not making me smarter. Complaining is not making me better. So I do stuff that makes me better. It's that simple. And that's my advantage over everybody. That's my advantage over most people. I literally can just shut up about stuff that I have no control over and focus on what I do have control over. I can control understanding how this market moves. I can control when I buy something. I can control when I sell something. I mean, unless your account blocked like some of y'all out here. I mean, it'd be like that, my bad. But listen, the fact of the matter is you can up your skill and you'll lose those excuses. I know this was long-winded. I know this was a lot of stuff to cover, but I mean, a lot of this stuff has to be said, Joe. People have to start doing better. People have to start accepting accountability for the things that you're doing. Yes, there's going to be problems. This is a startup. This is why I have a 10-year plan. And while people out here criticizing my price predictions and stuff like that and talking about, oh, 5 years should be perfectly fine and all of that stuff, this stuff like this is the reason why I have a 10-year plan. Like the state the community is in right now, this is exactly why I have a 10-year plan. All of this has been factored in for me. What about you? Have you factored in all of this? Were you able to have the foresight like that? No, you didn't have this type of foresight. That's why you're expecting Veve to move faster than it's moving right now, because you had unrealistic expectations, yet I'm the one who get told I'm unrealistic. Wait till you find out. Wait till you find out 10 years is more of a more realistic plan for what Veve is trying to accomplish. You're given the same time frames as certain other crypto companies, other NFT companies. Veve is not other crypto companies, other NFT companies. It's a crypto company, NFT company, a business, a licensing company. Like, it's all those companies combined. And you think that they're going to have the same type of timeline as a company that's just one of those things. And that's logical to people. This is why I can stand on my convictions like others people can. It's like the stuff, like I know, regardless of how many people are against me or what I say, I know that some shit just don't make sense. And it makes sense to me because I just know so much. I study so much. I research so much. And some people, they look at titles. They don't take the time to listen. They don't take the time to hear me out. So you're going to be here confused. You're going to be here lost. You're going to be here crying. And I'm going to be here making money like I have been since the second I touched down in this community. That's just how it goes. So you can be with the people who are making money, or you can stay where you have been more than likely your whole life, or slowly keep progressing and slowly becoming better. But one thing that I have learned since being in this community, when you follow the people with the money, outside of buying cheap gems, when you follow the people with the money, mindset wise, like the smart people with the money, I mean, you genuinely do better. You perform better. You learn how to make more money. So that's pretty much it, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I know I covered a lot of stuff here, but I mean, it had to be said. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, turn notifications so you stay updated. And yeah, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace out, y'all.